Have you ever felt that subtle disconnect in a team you've been part of? Or maybe observed that low hum of disengagement in your own workplace? That feeling where people seem, well, less like valued contributors and more like just another cog in the machine? What is the secret to truly unlocking extraordinary change in any organization, from a small team to a huge company, isn't really about chasing the latest tech? What if it's about something more fundamental, a shift in how leaders actually perceive and interact with their teams? Today, we're diving deep into a really compelling piece from Gunther Williams. He's the CEO of Idaho Sewing for Sports, LLC. And his article is called Cultivating a Growth Culture Through Outward Mindset Leadership. Williams makes this truly fascinating central argument. Basically, that every thriving organization he's ever worked with shares one common thread. It's all about leaders who see developing their team as their absolute primary purpose. A radical shift, really, from focusing inward to looking outward.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is what Williams calls his most powerful revelation. He says when we stop viewing team members as, well, objects that just help or hinder our own goals, instead we start seeing them as actual people, people with legitimate needs, aspirations, challenges, everything transforms. So today we're going to unpack this concept. We'll explore its real-world impact. He gives a great example from a tech company. We'll discover how these practical shifts can lead to really measurable, concrete change. For anyone looking for a shortcut to some crucial insights on effective leadership, on building dynamic teams, well, Williams' work offers a powerful lens.
Right. And Williams details how the shift involves integrating principles from some pretty powerful frameworks. He mentions the outward mindset, which is all about shifting perspective from self to others. Also the power of TED, which helps people move from like a victim mindset to one of empowerment. And conversational capacity for handling tough dialogues, the go-giver principle.
That's about value leading to worth. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And leadership and self-deception, which explores how our own blind spots can hinder leadership. He's seen firsthand how bringing these ideas together can dramatically transform an organization.
And he gives us this really vivid example. It's a tech company where tension and disengagement were just rampant. The leadership team there, they were operating from what the Arbiter Institute calls an in-the-box mindset.
In the box, meaning?
Meaning they were primarily focused on their own objectives, their own needs. They saw team members mainly as either obstacles standing in their way or tools to help them get what they wanted.
Okay, I see.
And as Williams points out, the results of that very inward-focused approach were, well, completely predictable. High turnover, a real lack of innovation, morale just declining across the board. The culture was suffering because leadership was seeing people as means to an end, not ends in themselves. It really highlights how crucial that foundational perspective is.
It's almost surprising, though, isn't it? How such a shift, which sounds conceptual, could yield such profound results. Williams explains they started with something almost, well, deceptively basic, especially given how complex the problem seemed. Each leader just committed to spending 30 minutes, just 30 minutes weekly, with team members. Now, I imagine a lot of leaders listening are thinking, 30 minutes, I barely have 30 seconds.
Right. It sounds small. But here's the kicker, as you said. The questions they asked were totally different. It wasn't the usual, okay, where are we on Project X?
Status update stuff.
Exactly. Instead, the questions shifted fundamentally to things like, what challenges are you facing right now? And importantly, how can I help you succeed? That simple shift in questioning, that is absolutely key. It's about adopting that outward mindset we talked about. And it immediately cultivates genuine curiosity about their team's actual needs. This move away from self-focus, it's critical. And what it did was create psychological safety within the team.
Right, that safe environment where people feel okay speaking up, sharing ideas, taking risks.
Precisely, without fear of, negative consequences. And that safety is the absolute foundation for honest conversations to really happen, to flourish. When you know your leader is genuinely curious about your well-being and success, not just your output, you're far more likely to open up.
And this wasn't just about people feeling better, was it? There were concrete results from these conversations. Williams observed that when difficult situations inevitably came up, these leaders now had the, conversational capacity?
Yes, conversational capacity, the ability to actually engage productively in difficult or emotionally charged discussions, instead of avoiding those uncomfortable talks or letting them escalate negatively.
Which happens all the time.
All the time. Instead, they could engage with the tension constructively, turn it into something useful.
Right.
And the transformation Williams highlights wasn't just anecdotal feeling. It was profoundly measurable. Hard numbers.
Okay, like what?
Employee engagement scores. They rose by a remarkable 22%.
22%.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. And cross-departmental collaboration improved by 30%. And critically, turnover dropped significantly. This really underlines the power of seeing people as people, not just objects or functions. It's a testament to that go-giver principle Williams references, that idea that providing more value than you take.
Well, it proved incredibly powerful and effective in the long run.
It sounds almost counterintuitive, doesn't it? By focusing on giving support, you actually gain influence.
It does seem that way initially. But Williams found that leaders who genuinely focused on serving their teams, whether that meant providing resources, removing obstacles, or even just offering genuine appreciation, they found their influence actually grew.
Naturally.
Naturally, not force.
Exactly. And consistent with the teachings from leadership and self-deception, these authentic, outward-focused behaviors then started to inspire similar responses throughout the entire organization. He talks about this profound ripple effect.
A ripple effect. That makes sense.
Indeed. Now, it's a crucial point. This approach requires vulnerability from leaders, real vulnerability, and certainly it requires a good deal of patience. This is not some quick fix or overnight solution.
No silver bullet.
Definitely not. But, as Williams concludes, when leaders truly commit to developing others rather than just directing them, the culture doesn't just improve, it actually becomes self-sustaining. Teams develop greater resilience, they bounce back faster. Innovation accelerates because people feel safe to contribute. And productivity goes up, importantly, not through top-down pressure, but through genuine engagement that comes from within the team itself. So let's maybe summarize the core takeaway from Gunther Williams' insights here. It's really about the immense, and as we saw, measurable impact of adopting an outward mindset in leadership, where developing others becomes the primary purpose. This isn't just a soft skill, you know?
Right, it's foundational.
Yes, it is. It's a foundational shift that actively cultivates psychological safety. It ignites genuine curiosity about team needs, and it builds that crucial conversational capacity. All of this works together to transform what could easily be tension and conflict into incredibly productive engagement. And Williams really emphasizes this. Culture isn't just some nice-to-have for an organization. He calls it its primary competitive advantage.
Okay, so what does this all really mean for you listening right now? Whether you're actually in a formal leadership role or you're part of a team, or maybe you're just observing the dynamics of a group you're in. This deep dive shows how things like vulnerability, patience, and a genuine focus on serving others can lead to these self-sustaining cultures. It leads to greater resilience, accelerated innovation, and improved productivity. And the key is it all stems from genuine engagement, not from external pressure or commands.
And this raises a really important, maybe even provocative question, drawing directly from Williams's closing thoughts. He challenges us, really, to consider whether an organization can truly survive, let alone thrive, in today's complex business landscape without making this kind of investment in outward mindset leadership. So what might that imply for how you approach your own interactions, maybe your own leadership style, or even just your contributions within your professional and maybe even personal spheres?
That is a truly powerful thought to consider. Can you afford not to? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the profound implications of adopting an outward mindset.